Hi there, this is Dr. Everybody with Project 3. The video doesn't seem to be working, but I'm going to plug on anyways, rather than spending any more time figuring that out. So we've got Project 3, and basically it's to calculate the fees that you pay here. So on the internet, on the MSU sites are these pages with these various options, and so you need to take the input to make this work. So for example, if you're a resident and you're a freshman or a sophomore, you pay $468 a credit. If you're a non-resident, you pay a boatload more than that. And if you're a senior, you pay more, and so on, as a graduate student, and so on. So clearly, we have to separate these out. So I have to know, do we have a resident or a non-resident? What level are we at? And that will determine how we choose that. And then there's other things. Okay, if you're in the business major and you're a junior or senior, and notice how I keep using the word if. And there's things like and. So in this project, there's a lot of ifs and ands and so on in order to get this done. So I'm going to have to know the college that you're in, and I have to know how many credits you're taking, because that indicates if you're part-time or full-time. And then all undergrads pay this tax, all grads pay that tax. Everybody pays that tax, and anybody with 6 or more credits pays that tax. And there's a few other comments in there. And notice that an important part of this is that in order for us to be able to test this thing out, order does matter. Okay? So it really does matter that the ordering of questions, we first ask about the resident, then we ask about the level, then we check to see whether it's junior and senior. If those situations are true, we ask for the college, then we ask for the credits, and then only after that will we ask, do you want to do another calculation? So this ordering here is important. And that will allow us to do the pre-processing and give you an idea as to how you're doing right away. But that's critical. You can't mess with that. We will take points off if you do. So what I'm going to do this time is, well, first of all, there's a few things to notice here, and that's when I look at the sample output, you'll notice that these questions somehow, like there's one, there's a yes that's all lowercase, there's one that's got some upper and lowercase, that one's all uppercase, this one down here is a lowercase n and a capital O. We expect you to be able to handle all those, and by the way, the easiest way to do that is the string lower function. So play around with that in the shell, but we do expect that. There's a few other things. You'll notice that there are commas in here, and there are instructions on how to handle that, and there's dollar signs. Okay, we expect this nice looking output, and in particular that kind of thing. And you'll also notice that here the college isn't always asked for, right? It wasn't asked for up here, and that's because there were requirements that, if I'm a sophomore, I don't need the college in terms of determining this. So you got to watch out for that. That's this is not a mistake. Depending on what level you're at, you'll get different amounts in there. And so what I'd like to do is I'm going to this. Let me scroll back down here again. Notice how we keep asking, do you want to calculate again? Do you want to calculate again? And then there's yet a third one down there. So that implies that there is a loop that keeps asking that question. As long as you get yeses, you continue. As soon as you get a no, as we see at the bottom, you're you're done. So and how does a while loop go? Right? A while loop says that I have some initial value, and we're going to use a while loop because we don't know how many times we're going to do this, and I have while with some boolean, and then I do some stuff, and then I update that whatever value that I'm using here. Okay, that's my basic structure. Initialize, while some boolean that has something to do with that particular value, and then we do some stuff, and then we update. Okay. So what's the easiest thing to do in this is I need some kind of an initial value, and I'm going to give it yes. And while my answer is yes, I'm going to do some stuff, do something, and then I'm going to say, I have to update that answer. So answer equals input. Now you have to do something else, but I'm just going to say continue. So we save this and we run this, and this will just, if I say yes, it will keep going, and as soon as I say no, it will stop. Now you have to handle uppercase and lowercase, and I already mentioned the lower is good for that. But now I actually have a loop that works. So let's take a closer look. I am going to just calculate a resident freshman, and that person has $468.75 per credit. Right? This is all done per credit. So I'm just going to write a code that can only handle that situation. Doesn't take any of the no special fees or taxes or anything. We're only handling that situation. So I just have to remember that it's going to be a resident freshman. It's $468.75. So I need to now ask questions in here in the part of the code where I do something. So I'll pick a variable called resident input. Are you a resident? Again, you're going to write something different, but this is a start. And then I need the level. And notice the order of doing this is important. Credits. And because it's not a junior or senior, I don't need to ask for the college. So we input credits. And then I could say something like, if resident is yes, we're dealing with strings, and level equals freshman, then what will I do? My cost will be credits times 468.75. Now those of you who are smart will realize this code won't work, but let's give it a try. And we'll watch it blow up. Okay, so all right, so the first thing it does, we ask, is it a resident? Okay, and the answer is yes. Level. Freshman is the only thing I can handle at this point. How many credits? Let's put in 10. Of course, all right, so it blows up. Why did it blow up? Well, we look at the error message and we see, all right, well, first of all, it blew up on that, and it can't multiply a sequence by a non-int type float. And it's like, oh, what did I forget to do? The credits is a string, and I can even see it up here in my variable explorer here. What's the type of credits? It's a string that's 10, and in fact I want that to be an int. So there's my credits. Convert that to an int as soon as this is not very elegant, but we're just doing something quick and dirty here. All right, so are we a resident? Yes. Level, freshman, number of credits, 10. Continue. No, because what did I do? I forgot to print out the. I didn't print out the print cost. Now we'll see if we can do this a little bit better, and we'll run it. And resident, yes. Level, freshman, credits 10. Here we go. Credits multiplied by 10. Now, of course, we have to do a lot of things to fix this up. For example, the way it is right now, if I type capital YES, it will bomb out because it happens that my code is written to take a lowercase. So one of the nice things is that if let's take a look at answer. It's capital yes, but if I take answer dot lower, what is that? That's a lowercase yes. And so now if I have something like if answer dot lower, so right now we know that what is the value of answer equals yes, and that's false. But what if we do answer dot lower equals yes, and that'll be a true statement because we've taken the capital answer YES and we made it lowercase, and now when I do the comparison it works out. So here's a little piece of code. It only handles one situation, which is a resident of level freshman, and no fees, no taxes, and so on. But so what your code ends up being is a long series of if this, if that, and so on. But if you start with this simple loop, you can build this gradually. And so, I took care of the situation where it was the resident, freshman or sophomore. Okay, so, well, let's, now I can build this step by step. All right, I took care of freshman, let's add sophomore. Okay, and once I got that working, maybe I'll, handle the junior and senior. All right, and then once I got that, and maybe even the grad student. All right, I just took care of all the resident possibilities. Now let's consider what happens if it's non-resident. Another bunch of if statements, and I can just build this up a little bit at a time. Oh, okay, so I have a junior or a senior, then maybe, now I have to ask what the college is. All right, that was another if statement. All right. And again, I can go through if it's business, it's this. If it's engineering, it's that. If it's health, it's that. And there are some other criteria in there. Notice this one stands out a little bit, is that the grad students pay both the engineering fee and the graduate fee. So we got to make sure you take care of that. And then of course we get the student voted taxes. So you have a whole series of if statements. Now, starting after the sample output, as I mentioned in an email, always trying to do some educational research in here. You don't have to do this, but do it because it's the right thing to do, and help us out, help out future students. And what we're going to ask you to do at the end of every project is answer, is put in comments at the end of at the end of your program answers to these 3 questions. Question 1, in this case we gave a 5. Question 2, so your answers are these numbers here, and we want to do it in this format. All right? So we want it formatted exactly that way, and that way it's easy for us to write a Python program that goes through and extracts all the information. So why don't you just put these 5 questions down there. Upon completing this project, I felt proud and accomplished. So we're asking about your feelings, and you can strongly disagree or strongly agree. After you've done this once, you'll get to the end of the project and you'll be able to knock these questions off. It'll probably take you longer to type them in than it will be for you to think about them. Just we're getting your feelings. How do I feel about this? Boom, answer the questions. Put that in at the bottom of your project, and I don't care. You can have white space here. That's probably nice. I care about those 5 lines and that they're done exactly that way. I actually don't care about white space. Whether there's 1 space or 2 space in here, that doesn't matter. I'm actually going to do a split on the colon on each of these lines and pick up the number and the answer with a little bit of code. So just do this. We're trying to get this, and just answer this as honestly as possible. It will not affect your grade, right? Just do that. Help us out. We'll do a little research, and maybe we can find some interesting questions. All right, with that, good luck.